flippity flop. Hello you guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, my name is Charity and you're watching Booked on Charity. In today's video, I want to share with you my 20 books that are on my end of the year TBR, aka my December TBR. If you're interested to see which books I've selected for this month, please stay tuned. Okay, before we get started on this video, remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and remember to share it with your friends and family. So, like I said, I've got 20 books to share with you guys, and there's a really good chance that I will be adding 2 more books to this pile if I do receive them. If not, we're gonna keep it at 20, but if we do, then it's gonna be 22 books to read before the end of 2022. But then it means that I will not be sharing it in this video. You'll probably see it in my vlogs, which I hope that you watch. Okay, opening up this video, I've got a trilogy for you, and the trilogy is called The Dark Artifices, and this is by Cassandra Clare. We got book 1, which is Lady Midnight. I got a good information that this is a good series to read to get kind of like a sense of the Shadowhunters world without going all the way back to reading every single book in the Shadowhunters series before getting into the Last Hours, because the reason for this is just so that I can get into the Last Hour series. But I heard that the series is very good as well, and I'm looking forward to it. There's about 650 odd pages just in this one book. Who am I? Who do I think I am? Book 2 is called Lord of Shadows. This one, I think also, yeah, has about 690 pages in here. I feel like if I can get like 5 days of being at home in December, like as much as I want to spend time with friends and family, and I know I'll be doing that, I also want to spend a lot of time at home to rest and relax. I need some R&R in December, and yeah, I took leave, so I need to make sure that by the time I go back to work next year, I feel well relaxed. And part of that is having me read a lot, which is why you will see all these chunkers in this TBR. But yeah, book 2 is called Lord of the Shadows, and then I've got book 3, which is called Queen of Air and Darkness. I think this one is the biggest one in here because it's about 850 pages. I mean, just from these 3 books, I should be able to complete my number of pages read goal for 2022. I had that on the story graph, but I feel like I'm very close to reaching that goal, and I'm very confident that I'll be able to complete the goal for the number of pages read. I've already reached my Goodreads goal for the year, which was to read 60 books. I think I'm currently on book number 65, which we're doing great. I'm trying to see if I can get to 80 books by the end of the year. We will see. Obviously, following that will be Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare, which is book 1 in the Last Hour series, and this will be followed by Chain of Iron by the same author. I want to read this series so bad. It's been on my radar for quite a bit, but also book 3 is coming out early 2023, and I want to be ready to just jump straight back into the world. So yeah, this is gonna be a bit of a priority for me. Basically, Cassandra Clare is gonna be a little bit of a priority for me in December, and I really hope that I'll be able to get to all of these books. The next couple of books I have are thrillers slash mysteries, and ranging between YA and adult, and in no particular order. I first have Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. You guys know I've been talking about this author now for like in a couple of videos, and I'm really looking forward to reading this book. This is a nice and short one. Like, I'm trying to also add like 300-page books to my TBR, hoping that I can literally sit and read this in one day. The next one I have is Two Can Keep a Secret, and this is by Karen and M. McManus. I read One of Us is Lying, and I believe that this book, I don't think it's part of a series. However, maybe it's part of the same something. I don't know. They look the same. They sound the same in terms of title names. But we're not following the same characters that we did in One of Us is Lying. So yeah, this book is definitely on my radar because I do have the latest book, but I'm working in chronological order in order to get to that book. So yeah, this is gonna be the next one I read from Karen and M. McManus. The next book I have is an ARC, and this is by Holly Black, and this is actually called 5 Survive. This book is releasing either 8th of December or 12th of August. I don't know, I still haven't checked on Goodreads, but this is the same author who wrote A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I really want to say this book is releasing in December, and therefore I want to be able to read it and review it in the month of December. The next book I have is a mystery, and this one is called Accidental Medium, and this is by Tracy Whitwell. I feel like this will be a really funny mystery, cozy mystery book. I don't know, it's giving me those vibes. It's really giving me those vibes without me even knowing what the synopsis is. And the final book in my thriller collection is The Club, and this is by Ellery Lloyd. I also have no idea what this was about. However, when I did read the synopsis, when I requested it, it sounded interesting to me, and I really want to read it. The next book I have is Operation Nativity, and I think this is so perfect for the month of December because it is a Christmassy themed book. It is a middle grade. I do have an ARC, and this book released on the 13th of November, but no, 13th of October, but I haven't had a chance to actually pick it up, so I'm hoping to pick it up in the month of December. I really like this author. I've read a book from them before, and I just laughed out loud the whole time, and I'm really looking forward to having that same experience in this book. The next book I have is another middle grade, and this is book 2 in a series, and this is Amari and the Great Game. I did add Amari on my November TBR, so I'm hoping to read and finish that so that I can be ready to read book 2 in the series. I've heard really amazing things about this series. I love middle grade, and the people that I watch, that I get all my recommendations of middle grade from, have said that this is one of their favorite books, or rather series. So I'm really excited to pick it up. The only romance book I have on here, Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. This is the same author who wrote The Love Hypothesis, and yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this one. I'm not a big romance fan, and I feel like I'm very critical of romance, so we'll see how this one is done, but I'm just gonna be picking this up as kind of like an in-between all these big chunky heavy thriller slash fantasy books that are probably gonna be like violence, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. The next book I have is Wayward, and this is by Amelia Hart. I think this is a fantasy, you guys. I really think so. I have no idea. I know, to me, it feels like this is a fantasy book, and I'm gonna go with that. But I'm looking forward to it. This is also a proof copy, and this book is releasing in February 2023, so I'm looking forward to reading it and reviewing it before that. The next book I've had on my TBRs for quite a bit now, and I haven't had a chance to pick it up, but I wanted to read it and get into the story before continuing with the TV series, and that is Ruin and Rising, which is book 2 in the Shadow and Bone trilogy and the second book in the Christopher's universe. But yeah, I'm looking forward to finally picking this one up because I feel like I've kind of forgotten a little bit of what happened in Shadow and Bone, and I was also a little bit disappointed because I compared it to the TV show and I was disappointed a little bit in the book. I don't know which side disappointed me, whether it was the TV show. The TV show was really good, but they introduced characters that I really loved that were not there in Shadow and Bone. So that was where my disappointment was, because I kept reading, waiting for them to show up, and they didn't. They just didn't. And essentially I want to get into Six of Crows, which is where those characters are, but I want to read the series in chronological order, or the books in chronological order. So yeah, this is why this is on my list. The next book I have is The Final Strife, and this is by Sara El Arifi. This I have a proof copy, however this book was released in June of 2022 and I'm looking forward to it. I've heard really amazing things about it, and it's a book that I definitely I want to get a finished copy of as well, because I feel like I'm gonna love it. I really do feel like I'm gonna love it, and you guys, oh, floppity flop. But yeah, in the bookish world, we love a floppy book. This is one of them. The next book I have is The Revelry, which is a YA fantasy. I believe that this is a witch story, but I don't know too much about the synopsis. This is like really thin as well, and I love it. It's gonna be one of those books that I'm gonna attempt to read in one day and just be done. The next book I've had on and off my TBR for literally this whole year, but I think when I did start to read it, I wasn't really in the right mood for it, and the language wasn't very accessible in that moment. But I really think that it's a book that I'm really gonna love, and that is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is a dark academia fantasy book with secret societies and whatever else is in here. I've heard absolutely amazing things about this book, and I'm really looking forward to finally picking it up. Okay. The second last book I have for you is Wolf Song by TJ Klune. TJ Klune is an author where I've loved two of the books I've read for them, because, well, they've written other things, but this is book 1 of the Green Creek series, and this series is actually complete. However, I believe that it's getting republished by my favorite publisher, Tor. I love books that Tor publishes. Like, they have very good book selections, and everything that I've read that has been published by them I've absolutely loved. So I think I'm gonna enjoy this one. Like, I'm really looking forward to it, so I'm adding it to the pile. The final book that I want to show you is book 1 of the Locked Tomb trilogy, and it's called Gideon the Ninth. I've heard so many good things about this book, and it's one of those that's like difficult to get in South Africa. Like, I had to buy this internationally and then get it like here, but now this, like, book 3 is already out, so I still need the last two books. So book 2 is Harrow the Ninth, and book 3 came out in October, and it's called Nona the Ninth. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I've heard good things. Another floppy one. I've heard really good things, and I feel like this is probably gonna be the book that I pick to read first in December, I guess, depending on which book is being carried over from November, because I would probably want to finish whatever I'm reading then first. But yeah, this is Gideon the Ninth by Tasmin Muir. I hope I'm saying that correctly. But this is Tasmin Muir's Gideon the Ninth unveils a solar system of sword play. I actually do like sword fights. Cutthroat politics, I love politics. And lesbian necromancers. What? Her characters leap off the page as skillful and animated as necromantic skeletons. The result is a heart-pounding epic science fantasy. This is what I want to hear. This is what I want to hear. It's a sci-fi fantasy book about necromancy. Epic. Give it to me. Give it to me. I'm really excited for this one. I should probably definitely start ordering the other books. Like, I had decided that I'm not gonna buy books for the rest of the year. But now what must I do? What must I do? Maybe I will buy it next year. Maybe I will leave it up for 2023. But yeah, that is all the books that are on my TBR for the end of the year. Please let me know in the comments down below which books you are looking forward to reading before 2022 ends, and whether you're reaching your goals or not. But it doesn't matter. Even if you're not, you've done great because you're reading. Even if you read one book this year, you've done great. But do let me know down below. Let me know if you've read any of these many books that I just showed you now, and give me your star rating and just your general feel of what your experiences were with reading the book. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and remember to give it a thumbs up. It really helps my video get noticed as well as recommended on YouTube. And remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Share this video with your friends and family, and I'll see you guys in my next one. I feel like